What is going on, freaks? My name is Freaky, and I know, it's been a long time. It's been a really tough time that you guys haven't been getting any stories on the channel, and I'm sorry. It's been scarce on the channel. Hey, what is going on, guys? It's scarce here. No, it's literally been scarce that I haven't had the opportunity to upload as many stories as I once was, and it's just been not as frequent, and it kind of sucks. So today is an awesome story for you guys, and it happened about a month ago. It's basically like a horror movie in real life, if that makes any sense. The thing that I saw this man doing was so bizarre, and just, it's not even that bizarre, but the way he did it and how long it happened for was very weird. Without going into the story right this second, I would like to give a like goal incentive. I don't do this often, but yesterday's video I did it, but we didn't hit the like goal, so I'm going to do it again in this video. If we hit 55 likes in this video, I will wear lipstick in tomorrow's video. And, you know, it's just a like goal incentive. You guys don't have to do it, but if you want to see me wear lipstick and act really stupid in a store or something, then there you go. That's your incentive, and you just drop a like on it, and you can see me do something very stupid. Now, this story is very weird, and I'm going to get into it right now. It happened a month ago, like I said, and we just wanted to go get some McDonald's. I was at my girlfriend's house, and it was the only thing that was open during that time, and we just wanted something to eat, something just to snack on, really. I think I ended up getting like a smoothie and fries or something, like nothing really crazy. Now, she lives in a small town, so it's not very organized with the streets. Like, I have to take a whole bunch of twists and turns just to get to a frickin' McDonald's, okay? And it's only like 5-10 minutes away, but it's a lot of turning to do. So there's always these weird streets that we go down, and it's not really lit up that well. You can really see all the stars and stuff, so it's not a lot of light pollution that is going on. So it's fairly dark in this city. So we're about halfway to McDonald's at this point, and we come up to this corner, and it's just like a long stretch, but there's this one midway point on this street where there's a street lamp that is directly shining light down on the street corner of this street. And there's this man that is standing still at that street corner, just with like the glow of the light shining onto him. So he has this like weird silhouette thing going on with this guy, and he's like a clean-cut man. He's wearing like scarce-like apparel with like those slack pants on and a button-up flannel or something like that, with normal hairstyle, like nothing weird. He doesn't look like a bum, he doesn't look like a druggie or anything like that, and he's standing straight up with his hands completely down at his sides and just staring like straight ahead. So his back is to us as we're coming towards him, and he's just staring down basically the street or the sidewalk. He's just staring, right? And I'm thinking to myself, oh, he's probably like looking at his dog, waiting for his dog to you know, come back to him. Maybe he's letting his dog take a shit on someone else's property. I don't really know. But his hands are to his side, so he's not holding anything, and the light that's glowing on him doesn't reveal there's any leash or anything that he's holding on to, like the dog for. It's nothing like that. So I'm like confused, and I'm kind of like looking at my rear view mirror, and I'm like, what is this guy doing? Like, in my head, I was thinking, this is like a perfect scenario for somebody to pull out a gun right now and just commit suicide. I don't know why in my head I always think of the weirdest situations, but because maybe I watch too many movies, and that's just sort of the thing that comes in my brain, just some twisted, messed up shit. But I was just thinking, I was like, dude, this guy literally looks like he's out of a movie and he's just gonna kill himself. Like, there's some weird alien abduction crap happening, because this guy isn't moving, he's standing still, and he's not doing anything. So I was like, okay, whatever, he's not doing much. But I told my girlfriend, I was like, that guy looked really weird, didn't he? And then she's like, yeah, he looked really bizarre just standing there, but whatever. And then we ended up going to McDonald's, we got our food, and about 10 minutes or 15 minutes pass until we actually pass him again. Now, we're going down the street this time, and we're coming at him. So we see his face, right? And we're pulling around. I don't really remember the guy at this point, because I'm kind of just like over the fact that he was there. I just kind of forget about the situation. And we're passing him, and the guy is still standing in the exact same position, hasn't moved a freaking inch at all, hasn't even batted an eye. It doesn't even look like he even tried to make an effort to move. He's still standing in that same position with his hands down at his sides for the past 20 minutes at this point. And he's still standing there, same position, the glow of the light is still on him, and he's just standing there, right? And I'm like, dude, this is really creepy. And I was just telling my girlfriend before we ended up seeing this guy at McDonald's, or seeing this guy again at McDonald's, I was like, have you guys ever had, like, you know, like a weird serial killer here? For some reason, like I said, I watch too many scary movies, so this is just what I think of. Like, because I always picture small towns having these, like, secret serial killers that no one can find, like a Jeffrey Dahmer and Ed Gein or something like that, right? Because they can hide out and the cops won't really find them because it's like, oh, it's such a nice neighborhood and blah, blah, blah. It's such a nice town and we don't have any killers, but there's always that really weird, creepy guy. And I was like, you guys haven't had any of those, right? Like, no weird shootings or, like, anything like that. And she's like, no, it's a pretty nice town. And when I passed him again, and then I brought up the conversation again, she was like, oh no, why did you bring that up, Tom? Why did you bring that up? And I was like, I don't know, it just kind of made sense in the scenario, and I kind of put two and two together. We got this creepy guy that's just standing still in front of a light on a street corner, standing there for the past, like, half an hour, and he hasn't moved an inch. What the hell is he doing? And she's like, oh no, I'm afraid I might get killed. And I was like, no, you live far enough away that you won't get killed. So I ended up staying at her house for about another half an hour, right? And so it's been an hour since I first encountered this man. And I was like about to leave, and I was like, you know what? I gotta check this out again. I gotta check out if he's still there. I need to get some closure to this case that's happening, because this is really creepy. This is some alien abduction shit where they just left him at a street corner and he's confused as fuck. So I go back to the scene of the crime, and I'm driving down really slowly, and I'm almost forgetting where exactly he was at this point, but I end up figuring out where it was. So I'm coming up, and I'm about maybe a block away from where this guy is standing. And I see a couple squads there, because I was going to call the cops the first time I saw him, because I thought it was very disturbing that he was just standing there still without anything in his hand. He was just standing there, and basically, like, he was just like a mannequin almost. It was very, very disturbing. So I see these two squads. There's one on my right side, and there's one a block ahead of me on my left side. And I'm pulling up very slowly to this guy, and his back is towards me, and I see a cop that's literally maybe shoulder length away from the guy, kind of like staring at him. And then there's another cop about maybe 10 feet away from him, in front of him, staring at him. And they don't look like they're saying anything to him. They're not even asking him any questions. I'm looking at their lips to make sure if they're talking to him or anything. They're not saying anything. They're just like staring at him, and they don't know what's going on. So obviously someone called the cops. I mean, if you see a guy like that, you kind of want to call the cops, because it's freaking disturbing. So I'm like pulling up, and I'm trying to get like a picture, but I'm seeing the cops are kind of looking at my car, so I'm like, oh fuck. So I got like a quick picture, but I couldn't really get the full picture of the guy, so I was like, fuck it, I'll delete the picture. So I end up going down, and there's a stop maybe a block away, and I'm like, you know what? No, I gotta turn around and go back the other way to get back on the highway and go home. So I do a U-turn about a block away from this area, and this is where it gets really creepy, because the horror movie part of me literally came out when this guy did this. So I do a U-turn at this stop, and I come back down, and I'm going slower this time because I'm trying to get the picture again. And I'm like looking at my phone, and when I'm coming closer and closer to this guy, I'm about maybe 10 feet away from this guy at this point, and he does this head tilt to my vehicle and turns his head and looks at my vehicle. Like he knew that I passed him more than 4 times at this point, and it's kind of scaring him almost. Or maybe something triggered in him, and he's just like trying to have the aliens come after me or some shit. But literally his head tilts, and he looks at my direction, at my car when I'm passing. And that's when I, like, look down at my phone, and I'm like, oh, fuck, and I just, like, speed up and go away, and the cops, like, look at me, too, and I'm like, oh, no, is this some fucking psycho cult thing that's gonna be happening? Is this, like, the end of the world? What the fuck is this? And I end up never hearing from this story ever again. I asked my girlfriend if there was anything on the news about this, anything brought up in the community. No one said anything about it, and it was just the end. Nothing happened. No one knows what happened to this guy, and it's very, very creepy that this man not only was standing still, it could have been possibly for like more hours than what it had been. So the guy was, at least I noticed him standing there for about an hour and a half. He could have been standing there for like 6 hours. Who knows? This guy was disturbing. He didn't say a word to the cops. The cops weren't saying anything to him. They were just staring at him. And I got him to move his position by tilting his head and staring at my vehicle when I drove past him. It was very, very creepy. I still don't know what happened to this day. But fuck, man. I witnessed a crazy man. It was like a horror movie right in front of my face.